most times include some form of restitution, some of recognition, but not attempts to change or adjust history, because we cannot do that. And we've seen examples in Rwanda with the genocide, the Holocaust in Germany, and all these things, that there must be something, a way of admitting and accepting that this happens, and going forward we will do this so that this does not happen again. But it would appear in Kenya there's a trend that even attempts to commemorate, and previously dates like Sabasaba, which were key in the agitation for multi-party democracy and such like things, the state, and this is the different regimes have never allowed such to happen. Is this the same thing we're seeing now, that even the administration of the day doesn't want to recognize that the June 25th events were significant enough to be discussed?
Yeah, Fred, thank you for the opportunity, and also may allow me to condole with the families that lost their loved ones. And of course, the more recent case of Albert Juang, and another young man in Nakuru, I think somebody Mwangi. Because this is a country that ought to have learned a lot from the events of the past, including the so-called clashes that took place prior to 92 election, and also after 2007 general elections that visited a lot of mayhem to this country. I do also want to agree with you that issues of reparation, restitution, and also accepting that yes, we made a mistake and we can do better as a nation is one thing that we should always embrace, because a society that does not accept that they have gone wrong is likely to be weaker than those that accept, yes, mistakes have been made, but we feel we can do better by accepting that those mistakes were not justified. But when you get a regime that is has such a thin skin, it is likely not to accept some of those things, because the young people are not asking necessarily for change of government. Change of government was almost like a byproduct of the fact that they were looking at certain things, issues of governance, issues of the need to have lean government, issues to avoid display of opulence, and also issues to do with a transparent way of recruiting young people into the public service or any other position that can offer some kind of opportunity to serve, at the same time get a bit of remuneration for them to develop. But it seems no sooner that event took place, those in power forgot completely. And now they are displaying also the same lagis by a member of parliament saying that he has been able to collect money to the extent of 150 million, and 45 million of which is money from his own sources. And at times we wonder, where are these sources? Because we've been in parliament with Mheshimiwa Bogisho, and we know there is no time as a member of parliament that you have a lot of money. At times actually it's better when you're outside parliament. The little that you get is likely to be used well by your family than when you're in parliament. So when somebody talks of 45 million, knowing that the total salary for 5 years is not in excess of 60 million, then you realize either is a display of generosity or pretense because you are getting this money from public offers, whether it's CDF or any other source of money that is not in consonant with the current constitution and also the ethics that ought to display. So what I would urge the current regime is to spend the next 2 years trying to come to the level of the ordinary people, trying to accept that yes, they are not angels. And because they are not angels, they should spend more time accepting the reality. Yesterday, there was a lady of the child who was pumped about 12 bullets in Ongata Rongai. And she was able to display the fact that apart from those calls that they received, either from the president or his agents, nobody has done anything that they were promised. Of course, money cannot be a replacement for a child, but being compassionate, accepting that pole, you know, like at times, Fred, when somebody is in hospital, you can send money, which is good, but it's better when you appear in person to say pole. That person will take it even much longer and will appreciate. Because when you get to hospital, at times you ask yourself, why am I here? And it is not a good place, especially when you know that anything can happen to you. So I wish that we spend more time thinking about the people of this country as people who deserve better than what we are displaying as people in power. I feel the current regime needs to have a human face so that we deal with issues with that humanity, Hutu, which for me makes more sense than somebody saying, I won fair and square, next election I'm going to finish you, or I'm going to beat you. No, it is not you who is going to vote alone. It's the people of this country who will generate the requisite numbers for somebody to be declared a winner or a loser. But when we go around saying you are going to beat us, you are going to do this, many of the votes that some people got in the last election, they are likely to run away. And it is just like in marketing. When a client runs away, it takes 5 times the effort to bring back that particular individual. So when your own supporters protest against you, it is highly likely that they will visit you with a lot of vengeance.
All right. Bwana Pugisho, the Standard has chosen to go a different route, that probably the young Kenyans last year in the agitation, they were hoping for significant change, but they see that that failed because of one person. The trial